Hello and welcome to my sacred space. My name is Lauren Victoria. I am a mental health therapist, intuitive energy worker, and life coach. And I specialize in healing and wellness through the intersection of mental health and spirituality. I am making this video to prepare us for the Pisces new moon. Peaks today / tomorrow. Just to get us in alignment with the energy. And new moons, the moon is between the earth and the sun, so it looks like it's not there. The moon appears dark. And darkness, many times in the spiritual world, represents creation. It is in darkness that a baby is formed, right? In the womb. It is in darkness that the seed is planted underground where it grows. So we use the darkness of the new moon to, again, set our intentions, to kind of go within and figure out what it is that we want to manifest outwardly. So let's read up on what Pisces represents. It says, in faith and trust, you must surrender to what is. Pisces, the double fish, is ruled by Neptune, god of the waters, oceans, and seas. It is a mutable sign, meaning adaptable. It is a mutable sign, its home being the 12th house of self-undoing. It is mysterious and unfathomable, but can indicate a life that needs clarifying as well as definition. Pisces is a beautiful sign with much compassion, denoting true visions that link up with the collective. Those ruled by this sign know much. They know it all deep down, but have trouble sorting matters out. Pisces sees the best and is an idealist, but the flip side of it is cynicism, which can come in waves. So dreams will lead you now, but clear thinking is a must. Pisces asks us to take advantage of inspiration and channel it into a creative project. If you have a notion or a dream, swim to it. Capture that wave. A great idea from the past may reemerge and you may soon want to return and finish it, but you will want to tackle this idea soon when you're inspired, or the entire matter could disappear into the rushes of the deep. So Pisces energy, as we see, is really, really imaginative. I'm getting delusional, maybe even a little bit, right? Like being in touch with everything that is intangible as well. So with that said, let's pull an affirmation card. What is it that what abundance is behind this season? What abundance can we manifest in this new moon energy if we tap in and get in alignment? Expansiveness. Eternity is far more creative than the rigid, constrained, and exhausted ego. Expansiveness is our abundance this month or this lunar cycle. Eternity is far more creative than the rigid, constrained, and exhausted ego. So, it's funny. I think that I've been talking a lot about this with my family, my clients, really talking about expanding your narratives you have for yourself, expanding the core beliefs that you have, expanding beyond what you think is possible, right? So this is, it's interesting because, again, that Pisces energy is pretty expansive from what we're hearing. It is all about, yes, what is tangible, but also what it is that you're intuiting, what you're feeling, the archetypes, like all of the possibilities. And I think that the mystery, the creativity, the imagination of Pisces, we can use this new moon cycle to really expand our reality. A lot of us make prisons, we make glass ceilings of what we can achieve based on our experiences in the past, the narratives that we've told ourselves of what's possible. But if we really tap into our imagination, if you allow yourself to dream again, if you gave yourself the faith of just going with what you feel without, limiting yourself with the ego's fear of, well, what if this happens? Or what if it's not perfect? You can't do that because of this. Remember that one time? all of that fear-based restriction, all of those self-limiting beliefs, if we can let that go, we can really tap into the expansiveness of this lunar cycle. You know, the age-old quote, what could you achieve if you had no fear of failure? I think that's a question that this new moon in Pisces poses. So let's tap in with the tarot and see what feelings need to be felt this new moon. So we have the Two of Cups. We have the Two of Cups. This is an energy of openness and sharing. The cups are water. They're associated with the element of water also. So we have really, really watery spreads so far, asking you to connect with others, asking you to be open with others. You may have friends, family, associates that you're not connecting with. Maybe you can tap back in with them, right? I don't know, in this period, maybe you've been isolating or you felt isolated. Maybe that's one of the scripts and the realities that you need to expand beyond, right? Maybe you felt like you've been alone for a long time, but the Two of Cups wants us to remember that there are people in our corner. There are people who love you. There are people who want to share your energy, that want to share your ideas. And you just have to be open to remember that. You know, sometimes we feel like we're alone, or we feel like, you know, other people will judge us. You know, it happens all the time too. I talk to my clients, and this is a restriction many times. It's like, oh, if I share this, this is what they're gonna say. This is what that other person is gonna do. You don't know that. You don't know that. Just open yourself up. You're, again, trapped in the stories, trapped in the prison of your mind, of the reality that your ego is telling you will repeat and repeat and repeat. And we want you to take a chance. The moon, Pisces energy, the cards are telling you to take a chance to open yourself back up to relationships, because we all need people. We all do. We all do. And I think the sooner we recognize that and embrace it, the sooner we can benefit from it, you know? Divine partnerships, the harmony of connecting with somebody, the harmony of regulating your nervous system with another person, it's truly beneficial. So the feelings that need to be felt perhaps are the vulnerability in general, the vulnerability that you're willing to share with others. Now, granted, I'm not saying that you need to go out and, you know, tell your life story to a stranger, right? So this might be friends or family. It might be a therapist. It might be your mentor. It might be a coach. But there are feelings that you have that you can either open up and share with somebody, or feelings about a relationship maybe that you're not processing fully, that you've been running from or trying to avoid, or just not making time to sit down and feel, right? To think out. And Pisces new moon is telling you that this is the time. Tap into your intuition. Tap into your intuition and share where possible, or get some counsel, get advice where you can. But it's definitely a time to examine your relationships. Now let's see, what are your emotions trying to tell you this new moon cycle? Your emotions? Okay. So I'm seeing perhaps that there's some avoidance, right? The expansiveness is on the other side of the self-limiting beliefs that we have. And maybe it's hard for you to sit down and be vulnerable, to feel vulnerable, to tap into your feelings, to think about your relationships, because when you do, it feels like the world is ending. Maybe you feel completely out of control. Maybe you feel like everything is, you know, it's a disaster. It's going to be too hard to fix. You know, the Tower is a card of realizing that the foundation is weak, and those walls are going to crumble. Yeah. So you know what? It's so funny too, because I think that even for some of y'all, some of us, because we all do it, for some of y'all, this is just the fear of feeling anything in your body, sensation, right? Because the thing is, our emotions, as above, so below. The emotions that you feel in your heart or your mind, they all have a physical response in your body. So every time you feel something and you're thinking something negative or harsh about yourself, your body is responding. Every time you feel sad and you're fighting back those tears, your body has to tense. Your body literally has to tense up to fight off that feeling, because you're telling yourself you can't feel it. You're so afraid of what it would look like if you let go and feel the sensations of emotion in your body. You're so afraid that you're avoiding it. And you're blocking yourself from the blessing of the tower moment. The tower is cleansing. It is purifying. You see the fire, the lightning, people are falling. Yes, it feels scary. But what it does is it helps us recognize that what we had in the first place, it lets us release it. It wasn't sustainable. So if you actually allow yourself to feel your feelings, I was talking to my partner about this, my boyfriend about this the other day. Allow yourself to destroy yourself. Allow yourself to die and be reborn, and die and be reborn again and again and again. It is the ego, the fear of sitting in your feelings, of what your emotions trying to tell you. That fear is your ego, because the ego it is time limited. The ego is sensitive. The ego is, to some extent, self-absorbed, right? And that's not to say that the ego is bad, but you need to remember that you are more than your ego. You can always rewrite the story of your life. You can always expand beyond whatever it is that you're feeling, or however you identify at the time. So allow yourself to actually sit in those feelings. Stop running away from them. When I'm with my clients and my clients get to crying, they always apologize. And I'm like, first of all, stop. Tears, right? Those feelings, the anger, you have to purge it out. Allow yourself to feel the feelings, purge them out. And then afterwards, I always ask, how are you feeling now? It's always better. It's always better. Get it out of your body. Stop locking it inside. Let's look at the deepest desires. What are the deepest desires in your heart right now? The King of Wands. So this is a card about action, inspiration, creativity. Maybe you are working on a project. Maybe you have ideas that you're trying to bring into fruition, right? So again, when we look at the cycle of the new moon, this is a time where we are able to bring our ideas into birth. So at the heart, right, of our desires is perhaps the opportunity to bring one of our ideas into fruition, right? To feel inspired, and not just inspired with the idea, but to actually manifest it. And I can tell you this, back to the entire spread, it is very hard to manifest something with a shaky foundation. Hello, if your foundation is shaky, then it's going to fall apart anyway. And some of y'all are walking around with your head in the clouds, so you don't have to acknowledge that you need to tear something down to rebuild it. Just do it. Oh my God. Just do it. You're wasting time. You're wasting time. And you know, the beauty, the maturity, right? The maturity is recognizing that, damn, I need to start over, or damn, I could do this better. I could do this differently. The maturity is to not harp on, oh, I wasted so much time, and oh my God, I can't believe, you know, it's going to be so much work. It is recognizing, oh, I have an opportunity to do this even better now. I have an opportunity to create with more intention. Oh, I have an opportunity to use the wisdom that I've learned since the first time I started and implement that, so that I know it will, you know, I know my return on investment will be tenfold, right? It's all about, and that comes back to mindset, allowing yourself to shift your mindset. It's very hard to change the way that you think if you don't let that thought manifest into the feeling. Hello, everything is a cycle. So if you have thoughts, self-limiting thoughts, right? If you have self-limiting thoughts, if you have negative thoughts, if you have anxious or fearful thoughts, and you're not allowing yourself to expand beyond that, what's going to happen is when the feelings about that thought comes up, you're going to dissociate. You dissociate, you distract yourself, right? You willingly place your head in the clouds and just tell yourself, oh, I'm just ignoring the thoughts. Sit it through. Let this cycle, this cycle continue so that you can purify, release those thoughts, release them, and rebuild. But if you always stop the cycle before you allow yourself to feel the full impact, then you don't give yourself the opportunity to rebuild. It's like trying to plant a garden on top of a garden. The roots underneath, right? The roots kill each other. They suffocate each other. You have to see the whole thing through. Sit down and have some time with your thoughts and emotions so you can get clarity on how to make the things that you want to manifest come true. Otherwise, you're building on shaky ground. Now, the last card I'm going to pull is the last tarot card is how do you manifest your desires and feel how you want to feel? What can we use to manifest our desires and feel what we want to feel in this very watery, emotional Pisces season? Baby, the moon. LOL, poetic. The moon is all about your subconscious. The moon reminds us that what we're seeing at this time is a projection of what is inside of our minds and our hearts. Again, mindset. Shift your mindset. The moon does not generate its own light. The moon does not generate, its own. That's why it's a new moon now, because it's in between the earth and the sun. So it's dark right now, reminding us that the moon is just a projection from the sun. It is the sun's light, right? And just like that, reality, we project from our own subconscious, from our own narratives, we project that onto our reality. That is why you cannot manifest what you want if you don't clear your mindset, because it's going to project either way. Reality, I tell my clients this all the time. Every experience you have in life is neutral. Every experience you have in life is neutral. You tell yourself what it means, how that impacts you, what your perspective is as a result of that, what other people's perspective is of you. If I tell y'all right now that my cousin's getting married and I'm in a wedding, y'all might be like, oh, that's cute, but y'all don't care. Y'all don't care because it doesn't affect your reality. There is no connection to your story, your inner world, right? So in that same way, every time you have an experience in life and you tell yourself, you make meaning out of that experience, it's your projection. It's a projection from the inside onto your reality. So you have to go back inside. Look at your beliefs, look at your values, look at the way that you speak to yourself. All of that is going to project onto what it is you manifest in the real world. Hello. So when you take the time to sit down with yourself, this Pisces energy really wants us to go within. Again, right in alignment with the new moon. It really wants you to go within and clarify what it is that you're creating, projecting from the inside out. And that is a task of not just getting clarity in your thoughts, but also in your emotions. To sit through that, to tolerate sitting through those thoughts and emotions. A lot of us can't even sit in silence. A lot of us can't even sit down with our thoughts. We distract ourselves every minute of the day, so we don't even have the opportunity to sit down and follow out the thought to the emotion. You tell yourself, oh, I don't feel anything about that. You won't sit the fuck down and allow yourself to. My goodness. Of course you don't. You have been numbing yourself with alcohol. You've been numbing yourself with weed. You've been numbing yourself with television. You numb yourself with podcasts. You're listening to something every moment of the day and never allowing yourself the stillness and the silence to take inventory of what is inside. Pisces energy wants you to take inventory of what is inside. Stop running away. Get some clarity on the inside in order to manifest abundance on the outside. If your inner world is chaotic, your outer world will be chaotic. If your inner world is scarcity focused, your outer world will be scarcity focused. If your inner world is harsh and bleak and has no meaning, your outside world will be harsh and bleak and have no meaning. You can manifest quicker than you know you're ready. That's a whole different video to talk about, but it's not sustainable. That's how we end up with these moments. So again, embrace the opportunity to clear things out and build from your own, right? Build from at your own pace and with clarity and with intention. Move with intention. When I get a tower card, I haven't got one in a minute, hallelujah. But when I get a tower card, I say, okay, what do I need to tear down before life tears it down for me, right? I'm doing something unsustainable. I'm doing something that's not in alignment with my values. I'm doing something that isn't working. Where can I redirect, right? And that's the maturity. That's the humility of being able to say, I'm willing to embrace and to accept the idea that maybe I'm not perfect. I'm willing to embrace and accept the idea of maybe I could be doing this better. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. Well, it can hurt your ego. It can hurt your feelings, but like, you won't die. Okay. You're not losing a limb. You're not losing a leg. All you're doing is improving. All you're doing is improving. So let's see one final message. What is it that the moon has to tell us? Hello. Again, poetic. This is saying realization. This is the moon of realization. It wants us to realize, to make that insight, to make the connections, right? A lot of us are oblivious to what is going on in the world because we're oblivious to what is going on with ourselves. I won't run your ears ragged because, I mean, this is spot on. I've been saying all these things again and it's right in alignment. But basically, you need to open your eyes, open your heart, and realize, get some clarity on what's going on. Okay? What's going on inside and projecting out. It's that simple. It's that simple, y'all. Do you have any questions before I wrap this up? In the meantime, I remind you, my name is Lauren Victoria. I go by The Highest Priestess on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, whatever, all platforms. You can find me at The Highest Priestess. That's THA, Highest Priestess. I offer life coaching, I offer mental health therapy, and I offer individual tarot readings so that you can dive deeper into your own psyche, so you can get more in alignment with mind, body, and spirit. I specialize in all things spirituality, mental health, wellness. So I hope that this was helpful for y'all. It was definitely helpful for me. Just reminding us that, again, it's a beautiful world out there. Like it's beautiful to kind of find your rhythm in the ambition or, whatever material, physical things you are creating. And living in externally, but there is an entire universe inside of you, and this Pisces new moon energy is a great time to start there when you're thinking about what you want to build, right? So maybe a little project, a little homework assignment I might give a client or a tarot client is think about what it is you want to manifest, right? So externally, maybe you want a job, maybe you want more money, maybe you want, I don't know, whatever it is you want, a new car, you want to move. Cool, right? We can focus on those, but in the spirit of expansiveness, in the spirit of vulnerability, getting in touch with your feelings, that type of thing, sit down and perhaps start your blueprint or start your manifestation with what type of thoughts will I have when I get that? What way do I imagine I'll speak to myself? What will my inner dialogue be when I reach that goal, right? Because usually we are so caught up in getting to a specific place that we punish ourselves. We punish ourselves by criticizing ourselves until we get there, right? Or we hold the kind thoughts, we hold self-compassion and self-care hostage. We hold it hostage for ourselves until we prove ourselves. Stupid. It's stupid. It's dumb, because when the moment you recognize that you're worthy now is the moment that you allow yourself to start showing up. The moment you allow yourself to start showing up with more, a more full heart, with more compassion, with more energy, with more love, because you aren't punishing yourself or ashamed that you aren't there yet. Work on your goals. Now listen, this isn't to say that, you know, you deserve to treat yourself and to never plan and have structure. No, you need to work on your goals. But in the meantime, if your inner dialogue, if your inner world is cruel to yourself or self-limiting, if you're still embracing those core beliefs and that inner critic that is mean to you along the way, it's going to be a lot harder. That's all I got to say. That's all I have to say. I'll finally mention that if you are interested in any of the tarot decks that I've been using, the New Moon Astrology deck, they are in my Amazon store. And the link to that is in the description box below. Thank you so much for tapping in with me for this New Moon Pisces reading. And you can visit thahighestpriestess.com if you want to book more services with me. Otherwise, I'll see you guys soon. Oh, and check out my New Moon in Pisces meditation video. It's a great listen, especially after this or before this. Make sure that you check it out. Hello, Sunny. Watch the playback. I just wrapped up, so I will see you in another video. Leave a comment if you're watching the playback. Bye, y'all.